have word that a colony in the Delta Corvi system is harboring several fugitives. Among them is a man named Vrimek, who has close ties to the Riemann separatist movement. The Tal Shiar is going to show the colonists the consequences of treason. You will act as part of the advanced force that will shut down the colony's sensor grid. Once that is down, their planetary defenses will be useless, and the rest of the fleet can move in. Then we will land a ground force and round up the colonists. By this time tomorrow, this colony will be nothing but a memory.
Are we really going to help the Tal Shiar invade another Romulan colony like ours? I'm not sure I'm comfortable with this.
Your objections are noted. Sir, we are being hailed by Commander Levesque. He is the leader of the advance force. Put it on screen.
Welcome to the Delta Corvi system. We are here under the guise of a raiding party, but our primary objective is to bring down the sensor grid so our invasion fleet can get into position before the colony is aware of their presence. There are a few colony vessels patrolling the area. We need to take them out first before they can alert the surface to our presence. Once any nearby colony vessels are destroyed, then you can disable the sensor grid substation. I am sending coordinates for the substations you are responsible for targeting.
Understood.
Captain, I've marked the 2 substations we're responsible for disabling on the map. Are we really doing this? Are we participating in the invasion of a Romulan colony? Helping the Tal Shiar? Remember what happened to Viranet?
I'm open to suggestions, but we need to maintain our cover if we're going to stop the Tal Shiar.
The other Tal Shiar ships will be monitoring the sensor grid and colony patrol ships to make sure the invasion isn't detected. If we disable the colony ships and then punch a hole in the sensor grid, we could beam a small away team to the surface without the other Tal Shiar ships noticing. Once on the surface, we can tell the population about the impending invasion. It's not much, but it would be more warning than we had.
Let's take out the substations.
We have a big enough hole in the sensor grid to get a transporter signal through without alerting the other Tal Shiar ships in the area. The crew can keep up appearances here in orbit while you warn the populace. Ready to beam you down with an away team? On your orders.
Let's go.
The other Tal Shiar ships haven't detected your presence on the surface yet, but you won't have much time before the rest of the invasion fleet arrives. Vrimek is the Maori. You'll need to convince him to evacuate his people before they arrive.
You're Tal Shiar! Guards! Someone! Anyone!
I'm not Tal Shiar. I'm working undercover for the Romulan Republic.
One of Datan's agents? What are you doing here?
The Tal Shiar are taking out your orbital sensor grid as we speak. There's an invasion force on its way. You need to evacuate your people before they get here.
A Tal Shiar invasion? I feared this day would come. This time, however, the Tal Shiar have chosen the wrong colony. No one will leave this planet alive.
What do you mean? Everyone here is committed to living free, or not at all. Doing.
I have certain contacts among my people. The Riemans have become much more aggressive about protecting their interests since the loss of Craterus. We are more willing to use measures that would have seemed unthinkable in the past. One of these measures is Thalaron weaponry. Hidden underneath this colony is a Thalaron weapon, large enough to destroy all life forms on the planet. When the Tal Shiar land on this world, the very ground under their feet will burn.
A planetary Thalaron bomb? You might kill a few Tal Shiar, but you and your people will die as well.
It is a fair price. I've seen what happened to Craterus and other colonies at the hands of the Tal Shiar. I suspect you have as well. Death is preferable to the fate the Tal Shiar has planned for us. And without the sensor grid, death is our only defense.
We can still evacuate this colony and save as many people as we can. We have to try.
I will delay the detonation to give you some time to organize an evacuation. But it will only be a delay. We must detonate before the Tal Shiar discover the weapon and attempt to disarm it. I will meet you at the shuttle pad after I am done here.
I'll start the evacuations.
The invasion has started. It's like Virinat all over again. And we helped to make this happen. We need to rescue as many colonists as we can. Vrimek will want to detonate that bomb sooner rather than later. Done all we can and saved as many colonists as we could. It's time to go. Vrimek is waiting for us at the final shuttle pad.
The Tal Shiar are close to controlling the entire colony. I'm arming the Thaleron weapon.
I've evacuated most of the colonists, but are you sure you want to do this?
Are you sure you're not a Tal Shiar agent? I will not give Sela and her minions the satisfaction of taking this colony with ease. They will fight and bleed for Ash and Rock, and then they will die.
Do what you feel you must.
What are you doing here? Are you helping these colonists? I am taking you into custody. If you're fortunate, you'll only be punished for insubordination and failing to follow orders. I, however, will be pushing for you to be charged with treason and aiding the enemy.
I'm not going anywhere with you.
It is done. Delta Corvi has been erased from the map, along with the Tal Shiar invasion force.
We told everyone to rendezvous at our ship. We'll meet them there.
I don't know how to thank you. Our colony is gone, but my people... No one would have survived without you.
Ah, there you are. This is the Empress. It's time we spoke. Prepare for transport.
I have to congratulate you. We've been trying to catch Vrimek for some time.
Liar! Coward! You said you would protect me! You said you would help us!
I'm sure many things were said. It's your fault for believing them. Deception is a means to an end. You were a threat, and now you are not. And my friend here is a loyal agent of the Tal Shiar.
Tell her it's not true! Tell her you would rather die than be her puppet!
I am Tal Shiar.
Tal Shiar scum! I should have killed you when I had the chance!
Now that he's dealt with, let's talk about you. I need someone who sees the bigger picture, who understands more than just blind loyalty to Hakiv. I think you're that person. I'm upgrading your security clearance. You will have access to our most restricted locations. But be careful where you shine your light. There are things in the dark that don't want to be found.
That couldn't have gone any worse. We did exactly what Sela wanted despite our best intentions. We even advanced our standing with the Tal Shiar. I don't know. Perhaps the greater good will outweigh this tragedy in time. Even if it does, we've still made an enemy of Rimek. If he survives his interrogation, that is. Are you ready to leave yet? I know I am.
I can't believe Rimek detonated a Thalaron weapon in the atmosphere to destroy the Tal Shiar invaders. It's tragic what happened to that planet, but the Tal Shiar should never doubt the resolve of people willing to die to be free. And it's unfortunate what happened to Rimek, but the Empress herself has taken an interest in you. That's dangerous, but it's also an opportunity. You now have clearance to delve into the deepest, darkest secrets of the Tal Shiar. Comb through those archives and see what you can find, while we wait for Janek to make contact.
Congratulations, Commander.
You have complete access to our data. That is a great deal of knowledge, and a great deal of responsibility. Use it wisely. I'd like you to begin looking for anomalies. There is a mole somewhere in the Tal Shiar working for the Romulan Republic. Find them.
I've been sifting through all the data we have access to now. I've noticed a pattern that may prove interesting. There is a lot of data that has been redacted, subverted, or just plain deleted. We should go to the Hobus system and investigate.
The information we found in the database points to some sort of installation in the system, but even the Tal Shiar doesn't have complete information about it. This was ground zero for the supernova that destroyed the homeworld. If there's a base here, it might be connected. We'll need to stay sharp. There's a lot of radiation in the system interfering with our sensors, and debris from the blast is everywhere. I've marked some areas where we need to scan to establish a baseline.
We've located a strong energy signature from the planetoid I've marked on the map. I suggest approaching and doing a more in-depth scan. There are plenty of light signs here, along with some strange electrical readings. Recommend we beam down with a full away team. We're likely to encounter some resistance. I'm picking up some significant energy readings. I suggest we investigate the lab area and gather as much data as we can. I've connected the data retrieval device. It will take some time to get everything we need, so we will need to defend the console until the download is complete. Sir, it's clear that these facilities are dedicated to studying an ancient race and their technology, but the details of the research are being deliberately obscured. There's another lab up ahead. We may be able to get more information there. Take control of the next lab and gather more data.
The device that started the Hobus supernova was Iconian? Akiv and Taurus knew. They knew, and they still followed the Iconian orders. And millions died. Our world died. The Iconian threat isn't coming. It's already here. They were responsible for all the loss and pain we've suffered for more than 20 years. And the Tal Shiar are their puppets.
Commander, all of this strange technology is a mix of Iconian and Romulan. It's almost as if they're trying to reverse engineer Iconian technology, which is absurd unless Taurus has a source of Iconian technology to use as a basis. And if she does, could that mean that there are still Iconians out there?
So, Hakif's dogs finally arrive. Stand down, or my guards will kill you. Do you even understand Hakif's role in all of this? He is just as responsible for the destruction of the homeworld as I am. Perhaps more. My only goal is to help our people. Before you decide who you believe, give me a chance to explain. You should know that when I first encountered Iconian technology more than 40 years ago, I was the commanding officer of the IRW Hakona. The ship was almost destroyed by an Iconian virus. It was only the intervention of a Federation ship that saved our lives. Haki was my science officer. He was as fascinated with the Iconians and their technology as I was. He encouraged my search for them. I trusted him. It was the worst mistake I've ever made.
Hakib deceived you, but you aren't blameless.
Hakib was the only one with whom the Ilachi would communicate. They gave him the device, and said it would bring about the return of the Iconians. All we needed to do was deploy it at the right time and place. I knew they were the messengers of the Iconians, and I was so obsessed that I asked Hakib to study the device before we released it. He told me it would do what the Ilachi said, that it was safe. I was just trying to bring about a better future for our people. I didn't know.
Millions are dead, our homeworld is gone, someone has to answer for that.
I have only sought the Iconians in order to understand who they are. Their technology is so great. Their empire was so vast. I thought that with their help, the Romulan Star Empire could rise to control the galaxy. I did this for our people. It was always for them.
You can't blame Haki for something you did.
You won't have the chance to bring me to your so-called justice.
You will pay for what you've done.
Terrace, surrender in the name of the Tal Shiar. Put your weapons down.
Let's see. Red, green, red. Tell Hakeem this isn't over.
There are Tal Shiar ships in orbit, sir. We need to leave now. Go. I have to set the self-destruct sequence. We can't leave you behind. The gateway is too powerful. It must be destroyed. I'll be right behind you.
Automatic self-destruct activated. 3, 2, 1.
There's no time. I'm using the gate.
I could not be more pleased with your progress. There is only one other agent who has managed to infiltrate the Tal Shiar so successfully. He, however, is in a position that makes him unable to report back to us. The information you're providing is vital to our quest to stop the Tal Shiar. I hope this message reaches you. Your cover as a Tal Shiar agent has been blown, and your location is currently unknown. Stay alive. We are looking for you. Depending on where you are, perhaps you can salvage this mission. If there's any intelligence you can recover before you are discovered, bring it back.
Was there something you needed?
It looks like we have an unexpected guest. Take our visitor somewhere more comfortable and contact Empress Sela. I'm looking forward to our time together. You'll save yourself a lot of pain if you tell us what actions Datan plans to take against the Tal Shiar.
We'll defeat you and the Tal Shiar.
Worm! I know ways to loosen your tongue.
Calm down, both of you. I recommend that you cooperate. Hakiv can be very creative. Just look at what happened to Taurus. Now Starfleet is hunting her too. If she's lucky, she'll spend the rest of her life in a Federation penal colony.
Exactly. Look at Taurus. You tricked her. She didn't know what the device would cause a supernova and destroy the homeworld. She was loyal to you. I'm not. What can I expect?
Who do you think we are? Everything I do is in the best interests of the Romulan people. All of them. Our methods may be extreme, but they are just.
Now you'll learn what else our masters taught me how to do.
What did they do to me? Why does my head hurt so much?
The Tal Shiar have been messing with your head. Stay strong. You can fight through this.
Welcome to the ranks of the Tal Shiar. Colonel Hakiv has taken an interest in your progress and ordered me to assign you tasks to test your compliance in addition to your normal training. Here's your schedule for the day. And here's a tip. If you give in to the conditioning, life will be much easier for you. We have people who try to fight it, No one can resist forever.
It can't be. I thought everyone else escaped Terrace's base.
Are you going to fight me all day?
So, you're Hakim's newest pet. He's asked me to test out your conditioning in order to make sure we can trust you as a Talshire operative. I have just a few easy tasks I need you to perform.
What do I need to do?
First, pick up that disruptor on the table.
Talshire always follow orders. Pick up that weapon.
Why would you do what that tall Shi'ar officer tells you? You know he's going to make you use that weapon.
Are you going to fight me all day?
You can fight the conditioning.
Who do you think you are? You can't resist.
Now, use that disruptor to kill your friend.
We can keep this up all day.
Who do you think you are? You can't resist.
They can't make you kill.
Please try that again. You really tried. Good for you.
Why did you do that?
Well done. I sense some hesitation back there, but that's nothing a little time won't fix. We need to let the indoctrination process really take hold. Too bad we couldn't really bring a friend here for you to kill. Now that would have been a test.
That wasn't...
Unfortunately, this was only a simulation. But you still passed your test. Congratulations, soldier. Head to the engineering lab to begin your next assignment.
I don't have time for pleasantries. You're the third recruit I've had to deal with today, and I'm on a tight schedule. You're going to help me make Thaleron weapons. Yes, I know. Thaleron weapons are banned by the Federation, and the Klingon Empire, and even your precious Romulan Republic. Well, guess what? I don't care. And you're helping me make these weapons whether you want to or not. Here's a list of parts I need you to gather.
You're beginning to understand.
Oh.
That is not what you were asked to retrieve. Incorrect. Retrieve the correct part.
You have to fight this.
Well done. You're doing better now.
The conditioning is affecting your optic nerves. Don't trust your eyes.
That's not the correct part. Would you care to try again? I don't think that's the part you wanted. You're doing well.
How'd that happen?
You're
The
not
part you just picked up has been replaced.
incompetent.
Can you hear me?
Now, let's test your
Conditioning.
basic
It's getting hard to think.
mechanisms. Time to assemble all those parts in an easy-to-deploy package. Use the console in the center of this room to manufacture a Thaleron mine.
That would have caused the weapon to short out before it could hurt anyone. Almost. That would have rendered the weapon delivery system inert. You were close to preventing the reaction from getting the activation energy it needed to self-replicate.
You have a talent for building weapons of mass destruction. Have you done this before? You've achieved a 2.4% boost to the pulse modulator over standard Romulan munitions. Well done.
Everything appears to be up to spec. But I want you to test the device before I sign off on your work. There's a display case over there with some life forms in it. Let's see how they fare against your weapon. Don't worry. The case is shielded. will be completely safe.
It's getting harder to fight.
Go ahead, detonate the weapon outside the test chamber. You'll only kill yourself. You really tried. Good for you. That was a close one. Those rodents almost escaped and infested the ship. Protecting a plant with a force field. Such a waste of energy. I never get tired of watching Thalaron weapons detonate.
Well, you're not completely useless. And I'll say as much in my report to the Colonel. I've seen people like you before. Isn't it amazing how much you can get done without that conscience nagging you? I believe your next assignment is in the Borg Tech Lab on the other end of this deck. Oh, I can't wait to get started with this project. And you should be excited too. You're going to assist me with some very interesting research. We're going to install some modified Borg implants into this subject here. Oh, they're fascinating devices. I think we'll learn a lot from this procedure.
Will the patient survive?
The test subject? I hadn't really thought about it. No, the subject probably won't survive, but the information will be extremely valuable. If you'd like, I'll note this noble sacrifice in my report.
The Tal Shiar should not be playing around with Borg tech.
A lot of time and effort has gone into that technology. Be careful with it. Excellent. Anesthesia would impact the results of this experiment. Do you really think euthanasia is the only option? Don't worry. The patient won't live long enough to suffer. This is a valuable experiment you're trying to prevent.
It's a good thing you didn't swear an oath to do no harm.
You may be technically proficient at this, but your bedside manner could use some work.
It was a good attempt. You'll find another way to stop this madness.
After everything this patient has been through, you'd risk destroying the results of this test? All that pain and suffering yielded some valuable science. Well done.
Oh, we are getting some fascinating data from the device you implanted, and you performed the surgery with such skill. Have you ever considered working in medical research full-time? Well, I guess not. I hear that Colonel Hakiv has his own plans for you. In the meantime, though, I'm going to make use of your newfound talent. Please, install a second Borg device in the subject.
Destroying this device won't save the patient. I can taste the spite in your actions. Delicious. You're trying so hard to not be a Tal Shiar agent that you don't realize you're becoming one of our best ones yet. You don't want to kill this patient. I'm afraid I can't let you risk the lives of everyone on this ship. See? No deaths were required. This patient is giving his life for science. There's no need to add more pain to the process than necessary. Is death really a better option for this patient? Despite your best efforts, the patient has survived this procedure. That would not only render this experiment invalid, it would also be fatal. Do you really want to attract the attention of the Borg? The ship might be destroyed, but so would millions of other people. The data is coming in now.
You were magnificent. I wish you could stay, but I'm afraid, though, that our time together is done. Report to the brig and rest until your next assignment. It's been such a pleasure working with you. I can always use good assistance.
Soldier, now that you've successfully completed your training, we need to recalibrate your medical files. Report to the medbay.
Medbay, you couldn't have just hypo-sprayed him? Jeez.
You're awake. You've been through a lot. I hope there aren't any residual effects. When you're up to it, come talk to me.
Stop it.
Welcome back. You may not remember this, but we've met before. The conditioning you underwent can affect short-term memory. My name is Kimmik. I've been working undercover for the Romulan Republic for months now. When I saw you on board, I knew that Hakiv would be indoctrinating you, and that I needed to do something. It took some time to find the right moment. Now we need to make your journey through fire and back worth something. Hakiv has a personal laboratory in the back of the Borg Tech Research Area, where he keeps his private research and information. This is data that even Empress Sela doesn't know about. If you can get your hands on those files and get them back to the Republic, it will be a real victory over Hakiv. We'll finally have the proof we need to go on the offensive against the Tal Shiar. Good. You made it to the lab. Tell me what you see. If you can override the security keypads on those doors, you'll be able to get through them without too much difficulty. But the doors are being watched by both the scientists and the guards in the area. You'll need to distract everyone before you can access them without being caught. Trust me, you don't want to get caught. Good. You made it to the... Those scientists look pretty involved with the results of the experiment from earlier. Perhaps you could put together a convincing example of why the Tal Shiar shouldn't be messing around with Borg technology. See if you can find materials to make it appear as if the patient is reanimating as a Borg drone. A pacemaker, a steroid shot, and a small subspace beacon should put on a good enough show for a few seconds. Good. It will take something big to distract the guards. I think they keep some small pyrotechnic charges in the security office by the brig. You can use one to set off a small fire, but the lab's fire suppression systems will extinguish the charges quickly. You'll need more time. And to be safe, you should first disable the automated mechanism and hide that fire extinguisher on the wall. But in the next lab? Good work. Tell me what you... No door? Well, I'm sure it's there, but it must be concealed. You'll need to distract both the guards and the scientists in the lab before you can snoop around and find that door. You're in the next lab? Those scientists look pretty suspicious of you. You'll need a big distraction to deal with them. There's a disabled Borg walker in the closet off the main lab area. If you can get it operational and cause some general destruction to the lab, I'm sure the scientists will have to stop what they're doing and deal with it. It will need a power supply, a means of locomotion, and something that'll help it cause havoc. You're in the next lab? Those guards are some of the security chief's most trusted officers. There's no way around them without doing some damage. This lab has a lot of chemicals in it. I'm sure there's some combination you can mix to make a potent and toxic mixture. And the clean room is an enclosed space that will collect the gas you release. It's also conspicuous enough to draw the attention of the guards. I don't have the access code to that door pad. Luckily, there's no one here to catch you trying to override the security lockout. By the elements, if the Empress knew about half the things in here, she'd have Hakiv locked up for good. You need to get off this ship immediately. All the transporters are locked down because of the red alert, but the security chief has local override codes stored on the terminal in his office. Get there and get the codes. Once you have them, head to the nearest transporter room. I'll contact Tovan Kev and let him know to expect you. He'll have your ship in range for a transport. I'm afraid this ends our relationship. I'm staying here. There's still more I can do for the Republic. And I can't be seen talking to you again. Good luck.
Captain on deck.
Carry on.
Welcome back. We've been following Hakiv's ship since we picked up a subspace transmission from an informant who said you were on board. It's been more than a week since you disappeared at Hobus. We've been searching for you ever since.
A week?
How are you? What did they do to you?
Gives a damage dealt buff. What they did. Damage resistance buff. What they did to me, no one should have to go through. We need to stop them.
Understood. We're keeping the Romulan Republic apprised of our situation, and they're willing to send in reinforcements on your orders. We're ready to get underway on your command, sir.
Set a course for the IRW Canal.
Our reinforcements from the Romulan Republic have arrived.
This is Colonel Hakiv of the IRW Canal. Stand down or be You! How did you escape? Irrelevant. You've been a thorn in my side for too long. It's time to remove it.
Your villainy ends here. I'm bringing you to justice.
It seems that our time together has left you with an inflated sense of self-worth. Interesting. It might be a side effect of the indoctrination process. I'd prefer to study this in greater detail, but it would be best to simply destroy you and then apply what I've learned in the future.
This ends here. You won't get the chance to hurt anyone else.
Captain, we did it! Hakiv's ship is gone! We did detect an Iconian signal before the Canal was destroyed. It was probably Hakiv making his escape through a gateway. Even if he survived, he'll think twice before challenging us again. We're ready to set a new course on your orders.
These files are amazing. I hope you didn't have to do anything too bad to get them. You've done a great deal for the Republic, and dealt a serious blow to the Tal Shiar. Thank you. It's people like you who will help finally free our people from oppression and fear.